I'm Robin Marsh. We are continuing to cover developing stories. 3 people lose their lives in 3 separate tragedies over the weekend. Details on the 2 car wrecks and a drowning ahead. And this.
I don't see how he can build relations with the schools he's at.
An Oklahoma teacher who once shared a classroom with the accused Arkansas State Park killer is speaking out this morning. I'm Lacie Lowery. Coming up, what she remembers about Andrew McGann and his unsettling behavior years ago.
I'm Colby Thelen. The weekend went out with a bang. Did you hear the storms overnight? Well, they're out now. How long will these cooler temperatures stick around before that summer heat arrives again? Megan Gold has your forecast coming up.
Live from downtown Oklahoma City, Oklahoma's own News 9 starts now.
Good morning. Glad you're with us. Hope you got some sleep. I think it woke all of us up, or some of us dreamed about it. You were hearing
I incorporated the storms into my dream, and I'm like, why am I dreaming of rain in every single... Oh, it's raining outside.
It is raining.
Okay, that's why.
It's a little bumpy night, but we're glad to have the rain.
Oh, yeah, we needed the moisture desperately. And Megan is here talking about our work week, weather. How we doing on a Monday morning?
We're doing really good. Those storms have moved out. Of course, we had our storm trackers out, keeping an eye on things as those storms moved into northwestern Oklahoma during the evening hours, pressed into the metro right after midnight to about 1 o'clock. Heavy rain, thunder, and lightning. This video from our Kyle Wilson. He was up in Harper County to Camargo. Heavy rain, lightning, thunder, and some damaging winds. But we were really grateful that those storms weakened as they moved into the state from southwestern Kansas. Let me show you the loop. They rolled in from western Kansas during the evening hours, press into the south, and I'll tell you what, they picked up speed big time, moving at about 40 miles per hour. Destructive thunderstorms, 70 to 80 mile per hour winds in Dodge City. And then by the time they made it into western Oklahoma, the winds were at about 50 to 60 miles per hour. And notice the weakening trend as they pushed down to the south and to the east. And now just some leftover rains from Atoka down into North Texas, and a few strong thunderstorms and severe storms down south of Wichita Falls. We are starting to break daylight here on our Lucky Star Skycam network. Here's Broadway Extension, Hefner to Britain. Looks good if you're headed out the door right now, and our temperatures are running in the low 60s. In many spots, our winds are very light. It is now 60 degrees in El Reno. It's 65 in Newcastle, 64 in Bethany, and 66 in Piedmont. Look at all the low 60s. Woodward and Guyman now 59 degrees. Our winds are light, but we start to warm up. We start to dry it out. I've got your full 9-day work week forecast. It's coming up here in just a few minutes.
Megan, thanks so much. Boy, a tough weekend, a deadly weekend right here in the metro. 2 car crashes involving semis take the lives of 2 drivers.
And an accidental drowning takes the life of another man in Edmond. News 9's Brianna Brown joins us with more on these deadly weekend reports. Brianna?
According to Oklahoma Highway Patrol, 2 people died in 2 separate crashes this weekend, both involving semi-trucks, and 1 man drowned in Edmond in a pond at a disc golf course. Now, this happened just after 11 a.m. on Sunday near Smiling Hill and South Boulevard near Oklahoma Christian University. Campus police say first responders attempted CPR, but the man was pronounced dead at the scene. Now, earlier that morning, 19-year-old Landon McClanahan died in a crash along the Turner Turnpike, according to OHP, closing roads for almost 4 hours. And Saturday morning, 32-year-old Andy Tu died after a semi-truck fire on the Kilpatrick Turnpike. Troopers say Tu was driving on the turnpike near Northwest 10th Street when he crashed with the semi-truck. Tu's passenger and the semi-driver were injured. Now, this comes just a week after OHP reported a devastating weekend where 13 people were killed in 10 crashes and 3 drownings. Live in Oklahoma City, Brianna Brown, Oklahoma's own News 9.
Thanks so much. A man is accused of ramming an immigration and customs enforcement vehicle and then breaking into a northwest Oklahoma City home. Oklahoma City police say this started before 10 yesterday morning as an ICE agent tried to pull the driver over. Officers say a homeowner near Northwest 28th and Virginia then called 911 to report a break-in. Officers surrounded the home and the man was taken into custody. Kind of a wild story from Woodward, Oklahoma, where police tell News 9 they're looking for a man who was shot over the weekend. Officers were called to the home Friday and tell us the security video shows Aaron Fike and Joshua Egan arguing in the front yard of a home. Police say the argument escalated, and police say that's when Fike shot Egan. Egan ran away and has not been seen yet. At this point, if you see him or know anything about the suspect, please call Woodward Police.
This morning, we're learning new details about the Oklahoma Attorney General's request to push back the execution of death row inmate Tremaine Wood. Wood is set to die September 11th for stabbing and killing a 19-year-old Montana man during a robbery in 2002. His brother Jayton told jurors he alone was responsible and Tremaine was innocent. He was sentenced to life in prison without parole. In a new court filing sent to News 9 last night, the AG explained the September execution date would not give the Pardon and Parole Board enough time to schedule a clemency hearing. That is required by state law. The AG wants the court to move back the execution date a month.
An Oklahoma woman is speaking out this morning about a former OSU Tulsa classmate who is now charged with brutally killing 2 hikers in Arkansas. The woman wants to remain anonymous, but describes Andrew McGann's distant, quiet behavior in class as chilling. McGann worked in several Oklahoma districts as an elementary school teacher and was set to start teaching in Arkansas this week. He was arrested, though, while getting his hair cut. Now several families, including this woman here in Oklahoma, say they are shaken up.
I did not think he would be capable of committing this evil of a crime. I know as a parent that their main goal was to get those girls to safety, and they did that. My heart goes out to them as a parent.
Investigators say McGann did not know the mother and father he killed at the state park, and they are still searching for a motive.
6:06 on our Monday morning. Let's see how we're doing on the morning drive and how our city cameras are looking from the Lucky Star Skycam network. Beautiful start to the Monday morning. And we've been checking at this point. All the major thoroughfares are looking A-OK. You know, those trouble spots that get a little heavy on the traffic, as they do every day. Just buckle up, drive safely if you are heading out the door. Now at the Capitol, the body of former Oklahoma Governor George Nye will lie in state at the Capitol today. Former Governor Nye died last Thursday. He was 98. He served as Oklahoma governor for 2 terms, spent decades in public service. A public memorial service is set for August 14th for George Nye at Crossings Community Church in Northwest Oklahoma City.
George Nye was not only a pioneer in politics, he also played a major role in the song that shaped Oklahoma's identity. In fact, Lyric Theater Artistic Director Michael Barron says Nye told him the story of how Nye made Oklahoma the state song. Barron says the former governor even called the person that played the character in the play, Kylee, who was from Oklahoma, by the way, to come to the Capitol and sing that new song on the floor of the House.
And the rest is history. Instantly they voted and it became the state song.
Yes, the former governor introduced that legislation to make it the state song. Barron says tickets were set aside for Nye to attend the upcoming show at Lyric Theater. He added Nye carried around the pen he used to sign the song into law until the very end. It was something he was very proud of. When I spoke with him a couple years back, that was what he talked about, is a big accomplishment of his.
He still remembered all the details about everything, too. I love that about him.
I love that he was still going out and about up until the very last days. He was going to go to that theater play, and he passed away the night before. So right up until the end, he was still out and about in the city.
It's something that obviously has shaped our state history, knowing that that's the song and the story behind it is just fascinating. I love to hear that.
It's a beautiful story, for sure.
We love the state.
6:08, we're going to switch gears, talk our weather forecast. Before you go, here's Megan Gold. Megan, how are you doing?
Good morning. Happy to get another week started. 6:08 here, and the storms have moved out from the overnight. We had many spots pick up half of an inch to an inch of rain, and that was just one of the several waves of storms over the weekend. Check it out. We're breaking daylight. 6:09 now on our Lucky Star Skycam network. Skies are clear, a few clouds off to the south. 64 degrees right now. We're going to warm it into the upper 80s this afternoon under mostly clear skies with light winds, but temperatures, they get hotter day by day. We'll talk about how hot we get. What about more rain and storm chances? Your forecast coming up after the break.
Also ahead this morning, a manhunt in Montana after multiple people are shot and killed in a bar. And more than 3,000 Boeing employees go on strike. Your top national stories are next.
Plus, an Edmond officer is guided through a tense pursuit, all of it caught on dash cam. You're going to see it. And what led to the chase? The charge the suspect was already facing. It's all ahead. You're watching News 9 this morning.
Man, how'd you guys enjoy the temperatures over the weekend?
It was so great. I was walking around the pond in our neighborhood, and some kids were out there fishing, and the one kid's reeling it in. He's like, I got a big one, I got a big one. So I stopped to watch, and it was a turtle.
Was it a big turtle?
Hey, I was still cheering for him. I was like, it's okay, you caught something, that's for sure.
We went fishing, too, over the weekend. Just couldn't believe that we weren't sweating doing it. What about you, Colby?
Yeah, oh, man. Well, I got out and wrestled for a little bit, and it was nice to not nearly die
Wrestle the
of
temperatures?
heat exhaustion. Yeah, exactly. Not die of heat exhaustion. It was
So it's
fantastic.
outdoor wrestling.
Yes.
With your
You don't need to ask any more questions. That's fine. You don't have to ask any more questions. But yeah, we went to the pool yesterday, and really in the sun, it was nice getting in the water, out of the water with the cloud cover. Kind of chilly, really.
Yeah.
So
But we're not complaining, right?
Yeah,
No, it's amazing. So we had the front last week. We had temperatures at upper 70s on Friday. And then your Saturday, your Sunday, we were in the mid to upper 80s. And for the first several days of August, it could be much worse, right? We had a couple rounds of storms during the weekend, and one of those rounds came in early this morning in the metro between about 12 o'clock and 1 o'clock this morning. They were noisy. They were not severe, but they were strong for many of us. And as we get going out the door, we're storm free. We'll have mostly clear skies through the day today. By 11 o'clock, we're in the upper 70s. So we're still below normal today, but our temperatures will be a little bit warmer than they were yesterday. So storms moved into northwestern Oklahoma during the evening hours into western Oklahoma while you were asleep. And again, they weakened significantly, but they did have some winds 50 to 60 miles per hour in the north and west. And there were some spots that picked up more than an inch of rainfall. Notice the lightning count just goes down as they really start to weaken and press to the south and to the east, where we do still have some remaining thunderstorms across far southern Oklahoma. Also a few strong storms and severe storms down south of Wichita Falls. It's been so cool this morning to look off to the south from our downtown camera. We'll see if we can get a strike or two here and look off towards Wichita Falls and north of Dallas this morning, where you can see some of the lightning still. I don't think we're going to get a strike here, but it's been really, really cool. We're breaking daylight, or we have broken daylight. The sun comes up here in just about 25 minutes at 6:40. Our sunrises are just getting a little bit later and later. Look how gorgeous that is. That is from our Norman camera this morning. Good morning to all of you watching in Norman. Hope you had a great weekend. 64 degrees. Our winds are light, and there are spots in the state that have fallen into the upper 50s. It is 66 in Piedmont to the Village, 63 for those of you in Mustang, 64 in Norman, and 66 from Jones to Choctaw. And there are, again, spots that have fallen into the 50s. Woodward, 59 degrees. It is 62 in Clinton, 64 in Chickasha, and 60 in Guyman. Winds are pretty light and in many spots calm. Still strong winds on the kind of the back end of the rain and storms in far southern Oklahoma, and that is where that stays. So as you plan your day here, we warm into the upper 80s by about 4 to 5 o'clock. 88 will be our high in Oklahoma City today under mostly clear skies with light winds, and we will have spots that are back in the 90s today in the southwest and the northwest. Now later this afternoon, this evening, and into the overnight, we will watch for another complex of storms to develop in the Panhandle, very similar to what we saw during the overnight hours. That is not locked in. It's a slight chance it happens, but if it does, we would have some thunderstorms from Guyman to Woodward to Alva, and a very slim chance in far western Oklahoma. So we'll watch for it. We'll know a little bit more as the day progresses here, but any storms that we would see would have the ability to produce some wind and some hail and some heavy rain once again. Tonight, temperatures fall back into the 60s, clear skies, very light winds, and the next several days are light wind days. By midweek, our winds start to pick up out of the south, which means higher humidity, but that will take some of the edge off of that heat to get some of that air movement. Tomorrow, we start to get hot again. We're back in the mid to upper 90s with some upper 90s in the Panhandle, and then by your Wednesday, your Thursday, your Friday, look what happens here in Oklahoma City. We're back in the upper 90s, mostly clear skies, and our winds pick up out of the south at about 15 to 25 miles per hour. So again, the breeze, it'll help, but that means we get more humid. By the weekend, we'll start to watch for an area of low pressure that develops and moves to our north. That would bring rain and storm chances back into the forecast with more clouds around. And again, the rain and storms, our temperatures would come down some. Could even see some upper 80s, but right now we're still enjoying the below normal temperatures. Guys, back over to you.
Megan, thanks so much. A manhunt for a killer in Montana. Police there desperate to track down the man who killed 4 people at a small town bar over the weekend. Montana authorities say they believe it's 45-year-old Michael Brown, who was last seen fleeing the scene in a white pickup truck. Investigators say they found the man's truck that he used to get away, but at this point, they still have not been able to locate this murder suspect.
The Trump administration says tariffs that were imposed last week will likely stick in the future. The tariffs include 35% on many Canadian goods, 39% on Swiss products, and 50% on Brazilian goods. They are set to take effect Thursday.
3,200 Boeing employees who build fighter jets are now on strike. The union representing the workers says they rejected a 4-year deal that would have boosted wages by an average of 40%. Boeing machinists are also on strike last year before accepting a new contract.
Your time now 6:19. A quick check of traffic this morning. Here's a live look on the Lucky Star Skycam network. We just checked, no crashes on the interstates to report right now, so we're just enjoying that sunrise, that beautiful Oklahoma sky to start off your Monday and your work week. We'll check again on those cameras in the next 10 minutes.
Well, we were getting ready to go to a funeral. We left at 1 o'clock. We walked out and Bill realized the panel truck was gone.
Oh, coming up, it's a staple classic paddy wagon right off 23rd Street here in the Metro, and it's stolen. But now it's been returned thanks to the quick-thinking stranger who helped police track it down. What the family of the paddy wagon wants to say thanks to that Good Samaritan is coming up. Welcome back. Boy, I tell you, this is a staple that you see right off Northwest 23rd Street in the Metro by the Antique Mall. A unique old-timey truck. It was actually stolen from outside the Antique Mall, and it's all led to a rather unlikely outcome.
It's all thanks to the help of a stranger who took quick action. News 9's Hank Cavanero shares the story.
Driving along Northwest 23rd Street,
how are y'all doing?
You'll find a place full of finds.
And we handle things from 1950 or 60 and much older.
Denny McConnell has owned 23rd Street Antique Mall for 36 years alongside her husband, Bill.
Can be old-timers in every way.
But recently, it's an antique from outside of their shop. There we go. That's gained some new attention.
Yes, we do. Yes, our 48 Ford panel truck.
Last week, the truck they owned for 12 years was stolen.
Well, we were getting ready to go to a funeral. We left at 1 o'clock. We walked out and Bill realized the panel truck was gone.
Like that, his truck has been in my family all my life.
Maddie McConnell, Bill and Danny's granddaughter, assumed the truck wasn't coming back until an unexpected call 9 hours later.
The phone rang at 10 o'clock, so I got up to answer it, and the police lady on the other end said, well, we have your panel truck in your parking lot. And I said, what?
So we hurried up here, and we learned from them that someone, a man who lives, I think, fairly close by.
So we got in his truck and followed it, called the police, and when the guy noticed he was being followed, he jumped out and, ran away and yelled, they let me borrow it. I know Bill and Denny, which is not true.
A stranger helping this truck find its way home. All they know is his name.
His name was Michael, and we would love to know who he is. We would love to thank him in person.
In a place full of finds, there's a family just happy they found their truck.
We have new people every day, new experiences, but this was an experience I will never forget.
And if you are Michael or know Michael, send him this way. All they want to do is say thank you. In Northwest Oklahoma City, I'm Hank Cavanero, Oklahoma's own News 9.
I hope Michael's
where are you,
watching.
Michael?
Yes.
Come on, Michael.
Okay, a fun fact about that paddy wagon vehicle, you actually saw it in the movie Reagan.
Oh.
It was used as an old-timey police car because it's like from 1948 or something like that.
Oh, that's right.
If you haven't seen it on 23rd Street at the Antique Mall,
Maybe
you
in the
did see
movies.
it in the movie Reagan. So I'm glad they got it back.
Yeah. All right, Michael, if you're watching, reach out
Call
to
us.
Yeah,
Yes,
reach
we
out
want to
to
hook
us.
you up. That's for sure.
Let's turn to the Bob Mills Weather Center now. Megan standing by at the outdoor forecast. Hey, Megan.
Hey, good morning. Hope everybody had a great weekend getting going here on our Monday, ready for a new week. And look at the gorgeous sunrise. Our overnight storms have moved out. Dry conditions here on your Monday morning, and the sunrise in about 15 minutes. Our temperatures, they're running in the 60s this morning. 64 right now here at Will Rogers. Our winds are light. Look at all the low 60s, even a few isolated upper 50s up near Woodward. Guyman dropped to 59. And as you plan your day today, temperatures in the mid 70s by 10 o'clock this afternoon. We are still in the 80s, but a little bit warmer than yesterday with a high of 88 degrees. Coming up, a lot to talk about your full work week forecast. How hot do we get this week? More rain and storm chances. It's minutes away.
Coming up this morning, an Oklahoma woman thought she was calling Facebook for help. Now she's out hundreds of dollars. The warning for others to hear after a scammer took control of her phone.
Plus, a plan to move Oklahoma City municipal inmates to a different jail. It's up for a vote today. The potential cost to taxpayers and the ongoing investigation at the Cleveland County Jail. It's all ahead after this.
You're watching Oklahoma's own News 9 this morning.
6:30 on your Monday morning. Hope you had a great weekend. Taking a live look at downtown OKC, a live shot from our news tracker, Stephen Owsley, this morning. Beautiful sunrise after a night of storms. And hopefully these cooler temperatures sticking around just a little bit longer. Glad you're waking up with us this morning.
Man, hard to believe school starts.
About 10 days.
Yeah.
10 days.
Next Wednesday,
in
next
Oklahoma
Thursday,
City, yes.
a lot of districts go back.
Whew.
They're excited.
Are you guys ready at your house?
I think they're ready.
What about your boys?
No. No, they want to put it off as long as possible. Yeah.
Different ages.
Yeah, they're ready to see their friends, but nothing else that comes with
there
school.
You go.
So.
Yeah. Megan's here eyeing that forecast. We're all getting ready for back to school, though.
We are, but I tell you, when you're an adult, summer is summer, right? It's just hot. But hey, looking forward to helping get all the families, the kids going back to school. That's always so exciting. We did have storms during the overnight hours. The storms took off in western Kansas. They had winds in excess of 70 to 80 miles per hour as they moved into the Panhandle. They weakened. They were still severe as they moved into western Oklahoma and ultimately into the metro in between about 12:30 and 1 o'clock with some heavy rain, some lightning, and some small hail. And notice as they pressed even farther to the south and to the east, more of just a rain event for far southern Oklahoma. And now we're dry and enjoying a beautiful sunrise. It comes up here in just about 10 minutes. Clear skies from our OCCC camera, and temperatures are in the 60s. Another morning of 60. There were spots in the state yesterday that saw kind of widespread 50s up in northeastern Oklahoma. So we've been loving the afternoon temperatures, but also the mornings as well. It is 61 in El Reno, 65 in Newcastle, to the Village, 66 in Choctaw, and 65 in Guthrie. Look at the swath of all the low 60s. We do still have some upper 60s and some low 70s, mainly off to the east and to the southeast. So by lunchtime, we're in the 80s. Today is another day with highs in the 80s, but a little bit warmer than yesterday. And there are 90s, more 90s and upper 90s on your 9-day forecast with rain and storm chances. We'll talk about your forecast here in just a few minutes.
Right here. This side. Yeah, one more time. Get in. Hit it. Stand by.
Well, new dash cam video shows an Dedmon police officer being coached by his partner through a pursuit. Officers say the suspect driving that white car, Jacob Graham, threatened his ex-girlfriend, stole her car, and then led Dedmon police on that chase. Police say Graham also had a felony warrant. He was arrested and taken to jail.
An Oklahoma woman is warning others after she was scammed out of hundreds of dollars by someone posing as a customer service rep for Facebook. After realizing someone had hacked her Facebook account, Cynthia Tyler says her boyfriend Googled the company's customer service phone number for her to call. Well, not realizing that number was fake, she gave the person on the other line access to her phone, her accounts, and even bought gift cards when they asked.
He said that it wasn't really coming out of my account, that it was just something they had to do in order to get access to my accounts.
No one will ever ask you to pay with gift cards. That should be a big red flag that it's a scammer. Cybersecurity experts say you shouldn't Google customer service numbers either. Instead, contact the business directly through the app or website. Oklahoma Highway Patrol also warning of an ongoing scam, this one targeting drivers. Troopers say scammers are using DPS logos and photos to get people to pay fake fines. OHP wants to remind you DPS does not collect citation payments. The county clerk's office takes care of that.
Oklahoma City inmates could soon find themselves in the Cleveland County Jail if a new agreement is finalized this month. Lisa Monahan joins us here with more on what's going on. Lisa?
Well, Colby, Oklahoma City began looking for somewhere to house its inmates more than a month ago, eventually arriving at the Cleveland County Jail. Those are minor offenses for the city, but there are major concerns considering the Cleveland County's recent reputation. The terms of the agreement go before the county commissioners this afternoon for approval. And if it is approved, the city would be paying $68 per day per inmate to Cleveland County, as well as $35 per day for any deputy that has to watch over an inmate at the hospital. Now, that agreement also specifies that Cleveland County must maintain compliance with jail standards that are set forth by state law, which is notable considering the jail failed a state inspection just 6 months ago. That surprise inspection uncovered several sanitation issues such as moldy cells and showers, lack of feminine hygiene items, and inmates without beds. Inspectors also note that jail staff failed to perform or even document hourly site checks and report inmate injuries and death. And then you may remember back in April, the facility mistakenly released 41-year-old Michael Bodnar, jail on complaints of kidnapping, burglary, and domestic assault. At last check, every investigation into the jail in the last year is ongoing, or those results have not been released. So if approved today, that contract will be in effect until June of next year. Of course, we'll be watching today's county commissioner meeting very closely and bringing you the very latest. Colby.
No, you will, Lisa. Thank you. And if the commissioners approve the agreement, it then goes to the Oklahoma City Council for approval on August the 12th.
It's 6:35 on a Monday morning. Let's see how we're doing on the roads. If you are out the door, this is what's greeting you across the metro thoroughfares. Everything at this point looking A-OK. Drivers are doing a good job. Those tight spots that are usually at this time are picking up traffic. So just buckle up, drive safely. We'll continue watching the roads for you.
There is a push at the state capitol to get Juneteenth declared an official state holiday. It's already a holiday at the federal level, commemorating the end of slavery in the U.S. Well, one state senator says Juneteenth played a critical role in our state, but says it wasn't until she became an adult and learned of the deeper connection between Juneteenth and Oklahoma.
The story stops in Oklahoma because of the 1866 treaties. The treaties also said then that those that were enslaved by the tribes were emancipated.
State Senator Nikki Nice says Oklahomans not knowing the history of Juneteenth could be why it's not being acknowledged. She is now encouraging other lawmakers to make the change.
6:36 right now. Let's take a live look on our Lucky Star Skycam network, the site of the future new arena. Crews still removing concrete around the former Cox Convention Center. The city also shut down the far right lane of EK Gaylord right near Reno as crews work on rerouting electrical lines. The project, of course, expected to last through the fall.
An uptown bar and grill is closing its doors for good due to rising costs. The Pump Bar near Northwest 24th and Walker has been open for more than 10 years now in Oklahoma City. It originally faced closure back in December, but the community rallied around them and helped them stay open a little longer. Now the owner of the Pump Bar says they've been struggling to buy new products and they are being forced to close for good this time.
We are heartbroken to be closing, but also so proud of what we've done here and so thankful for the way that the community has supported us from day one.
The owners say they still hope to find a solution to keep the bar running. We'll keep you posted.
Well, I tell you what, the Olympics will be here before you know it, and crews say they are on track to have river sport ready for the 2028 Olympics. The city says it's updating and renovating parts of the Whitewater Center to make sure it will meet the competition needs. While the Olympics are top of mind, city officials say these improvements still need to be done for the sustainability of the venue even after the Olympics.
They're thinking long term here. We don't want to build infrastructure that's not going to be used.
Yeah.
We want to incorporate it so people can continue to use those improvements later.
It always looks so fun at River Sport right there, doesn't it? It does.
It's going to be nice coming this later this week. This temperature's heating back up. Boy.
Let's get over to the Bob Mills Weather Center, check in with Megan. Hey, Megan, how we looking?
Hey, guys. Well, the overnight storms, they have moved out. I know a lot of families trying to get in kind of our last several days of summer, last week of summer plans. And if you do have plans to be by the pool, tell you what, it's going to be toasty by the time we get to the end of this next week. If you're headed out the door right now, the roads look great. Again, overnight storms have moved out, still tracking a little rain in far southern Oklahoma. We'll talk about your full Monday forecast, the work week. It's coming up after the break.
Also coming up, tax-free weekend might be over, but some lawmakers are looking to change things before next year. A new proposal that could bring added relief for back-to-school shopping.
And a new daycare center is opening just for teachers in Yukon and Mustang. How the program aims to support educators beyond the classroom. We're talking about it next on 9.
All right, welcome back. About 6:45 right now. We're looking at a great sunrise after a night of storms.
So
beautiful.
Pretty. I love a good sunrise in the summer. There's nothing better.
Yeah. Oh, gorgeous, right?
Yeah, look at it. That's our view from our Norman cam. We can take it full screen and show it as the sun is coming up.
You're going to catch it live.
Now.
Yeah.
Look at it.
Right,
I can look at it all day.
Across the horizon.
Can we just look at it for the next 4 minutes?
I like it.
We do still have some clouds this morning, especially down in southern Oklahoma. Ooh, and we had a bird fly by. That was awesome. Yeah, our temperatures are running in the 60s out the door this morning, and our winds are light. And the overnight storms, they did pack a punch as they came out of Kansas into Dodge City. They had winds 70 to 80 miles per hour, and then they weakened as they moved to Woodward, to Clinton, and ultimately into Oklahoma City. It was a heavy rain, a thunder, and a lightning event, but you may have heard it this morning into Oklahoma City after about 12:30 to 1 o'clock. And now we've just got really just some lingering rain in far southern Oklahoma with very little in the way of lightning, really the main body of the state. We are dry. Over the weekend, we had temperatures in the mid to upper 80s, and today we're essentially right back there. 88 here in OKC. Tomorrow, we're back to the 90s. Remember the cold front that came through last week? And on Friday, we had temperatures in the upper 70s. Just been getting a little bit warmer day by day, and we're just going to stair step this week. By Wednesday, we're in the mid 90s, and then late week, the upper 90s return. Into the weekend, we will track more rain and storm chances, more clouds around, and of course, that will limit temperature. So there's a chance we end up even a little bit cooler than the low 90s, but that's not locked in. It is still a ways out. And the great news is that by midweek, we're going to have more wind. And of course, the wind, that movement of the air will help really when it starts to just get kind of stifling hot. So not much wind today, dry conditions today, and then into late week, into the weekend, brings rain and storm chances back into the forecast. So really the next, the big deal here over the next several days is going to be the heat and ultimately the humidity as south winds really start to return. Look at all the low 60s. I'm loving it this morning. We had widespread 50s yesterday morning in spots in northeastern Oklahoma. Of course, the cooler afternoon temperatures, clear skies, light winds leads to cooler morning temperatures. And look how light our winds are. We've had some gusty winds from the storms, but of course that has diminished, and our winds are anywhere from calm to just about 5 to 10 miles per hour, and that is how really the rest of the day today will be. Here in just a little bit, we're in the 70s, or we'll stay in the 70s, and then into lunchtime, we're into the 80s this afternoon, mostly clear skies, and there will be spots in the state across the north, the northwest, and the southwest that are back in the 90s today. So it will be a hotter day, but normal for this time of year is about 94 degrees. So we can always be hotter, right? Tonight, the main body of the state stays dry. Skies will be clear with light winds, but we will watch for another complex of storms to develop tonight in the Panhandle. That is not locked in, so we'll continue to kind of fine tune it as the day progresses. It's a 20 to a 40% chance, highest chances in kind of the far western parts of the Panhandle. If that happens, that would stay west, and any of those storms would be capable of producing some wind, some hail, and some heavy rain. Tomorrow, we're essentially going to do it all over again, but we'll be a little bit warmer. Winds will be a little stronger, especially to the north and west. Out of the southeast at about 15 to 25 miles per hour. Mid to upper 90s, back into the upper 90s in the Panhandle, and 91 here in OKC. As we go into the remainder of the week, again, we turn hot. By Wednesday, 94 degrees, Thursday into Friday. And again, look at our south winds. They'll start to return, and that will carry us into the weekend when we'll watch for a storm system to move in from the north. That would bring additional chances for weekend storms. We'll watch that closely with more clouds around, and again, with the rain and the storms around, our temperatures would begin to drop some. We could even have highs in the 80s. We'll watch that closely, and then of course the kiddos start to go back to school into next week, and as of right now, slight chances for rain Monday and Tuesday. Same deal, temperatures in the low 90s, but for right now, we're going to enjoy the 80s. 88 is again your high in Oklahoma City today.
Megan, thank you. Lawmakers hope to make changes on what you can get tax-free while back to school shopping next year. Right now, shoppers not required to pay taxes on clothing and shoes less than $100 that are purchased online or in the store. But new legislation would add sportswear and school supplies to that list. Senator Kristen Thompson hopes to get the bill across the finish line come 2026.
I know as a mom, getting everyone everything they need to go back to school is wildly expensive. Everything costs more now, it just does. This is immediate relief. I think it's common sense, and it's something that will move the needle for sure for all of Oklahoma families.
And that bill is eligible to be picked up right where it left off in the Senate Appropriations Committee. That would be next February.
Well, the Oklahoma Tax Commission says the private school that State Superintendent Ryan Walters has been pushing for in Oklahoma does not qualify for a state tax credit. The American Virtual Academy was denied the tax credit because it's based in Arizona, not in Oklahoma. Some state lawmakers say they anticipated this decision.
The law is very clear on receiving scholarships or vouchers, whatever you want to call them, that it has to be an Oklahoma private school that's accredited by the Department of Education or another accrediting agency.
Superintendent Walter says he will continue to work with the commission, trying to get the school approved for the next school year. Boy, hard to believe students in Oklahoma City go back next Wednesday to school. Several school districts across even the metro are looking for teachers, substitute teachers, bus drivers, and other support staff. That does include Oklahoma City, Moore, and Norman, just to name a few. And one school superintendent in Bartlesville says fewer people are going into teaching, which means more districts are giving additional training for emergency certified teachers.
It's been a national problem, fewer people going into education. It's hit our state just in the last several years. And so I think just making sure that we have the additional resources that are needed to invest in our staff to help them prepare our kids.
The lack of affordable childcare is also contributing to the teacher shortage, and two metro districts came up with a great idea. Yukon and Mustang Public Schools are working to fix that problem with a new daycare center made specifically for their teachers. The director of the new daycare center, which is called Young Minds, says she hopes this will help ease the burden of teachers finding their own childcare.
So just knowing the amount of wait lists that child care providers have for even teachers or just parents and workforce parents, this provides solely for the public school teachers so they don't have to compete.
District officials say the effort is part of a broader strategy to support teachers both inside and outside the classroom.
And with the school year just around the corner, Embark is announcing a new program meant to ease the burden of finding reliable transportation for students. It's called Hall Pass, H-A-U-L. See what they did there? It lets parents sign their students up to use all forms of Embark transportation for free at any time of the day. Students in Central OKC can use their passes to get to and from school, as well as after-school extracurriculars or to jobs. You can sign up on Embark's website. 6:50 your time right now. Let's get another check of traffic as you're heading out the door this morning. Look at that sunrise, man. We can't get enough of it in here. It looks beautiful. Traffic also moving along smoothly, certainly picking up as we near 7 a.m. But so far, no major incidents that are going to slow you down on our interstates this morning. We'll keep you posted with traffic here and on the News 9 app.
And coming up on the Coca-Cola Porch at 9 a.m. this morning, we take you to the Sam Noble Museum, checking out the all-new snow exhibit. Yeah, we're helping you keep it cool. Don't miss the immersive experience on News 9 at 9 a.m. Oklahoma is back in the Hollywood spotlight, all thanks to the movie Twisters. The hit movie was filmed in more than a dozen towns, several locations all across Oklahoma. The movie has been nominated for Outstanding Locations at the 2025 Location Manager Guild Awards. The winners will be announced in California on August 23rd.
The Oklahoma Wildlife Department is inviting artists to enter its 44th annual Duck Stamp Art Contest. The winning design will become the new 2026 Oklahoma Waterfowl Stamp. This year's topic is the canvasback duck. Artwork must be submitted to the ODWC headquarters by 4:30 p.m. on August 29th. We actually have a lot of incredible artists here in Oklahoma, and it's beautiful to see their artwork become an official stamp for the state.
Are you familiar with the canvasback duck?
It's a white and brown kind of duck. I've never come across one, though, so Maybe a duck stamp will help me with that.
Just paint by numbers. I might be able to do that one, you know.
It's really neat to see those.
I
A lot of
love that.
artists, yeah.
We'll have to show the winning one when they announce it. That'll
that'd
be
be
so
fun
cool.
to do.
Yeah. All right. Watching that weather for us on a Monday. We're kind of back into the grind again. Here we go, Megan.
A new week. Here we go. Countdown to school starting again. Of course, we had the overnight storms. Those have really moved out. Some lingering rain across far southern Oklahoma. Kind of the remnants, if you will. Just some showers at this point. And now nothing but sunshine. Our view from Norman, looking off to the east there. Sunrise was about 15 minutes ago. We're sitting at 64 degrees. Our winds are light. And this afternoon, we are back to the 80s. There will be spots in the state that do hit the 90s with light winds and mostly clear skies. And we just get hotter from here with upper 90s returning by Thursday, Friday. Rain and storm chances into the weekend.
97.
Oh,
Goodness.
Let's go back to the 70s.
I know.
We just had a little reprieve there, you know.
Here's a shot from our Stephen Owsley this morning. I love the sun, big and bright in the Oklahoma sky.
Looking good there on I-40 this morning. Buckle up, drive safely.
We'll enjoy that sunshine from the comfort of air conditioning.
Have a great one.